Rigoberta menchu is?
Rigoberta who?
¿Cómo sientes sobre Rigoberta menchu?
When as Rigoberta menchu.
How do you feel about Rigoberta menchu? I traveled all this way to ask you.
Who's Rigoberta menchu?
Mente circa Rigoberta menchu.
Chi è Rigoberta menchu?
Do you know who Rigoberta menchu is?
No, who is that?
By the way, do you know who Rigoberta menchu is?
No!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Roberta Matthews. You may recognize me from my previous documentaries on poppy seeds. Now I'm here to talk about something I'm very passionate about. I traveled around the world asking citizens about their feelings about Rigoberta menchu. I was shocked to find that no one knew who she was. Tonight you have the privilege to learn about this amazing civil rights activist. Born into a poor family on January 9th, 1959, Rigoberta menchu's life began. At the age of 8, she began her work on a plantation in the South with her family. They were given little money and worked under harsh conditions.
Go on!
I don't understand you. You have to get back to work.
My brother,
It doesn't matter. You have to get back to work.
As we see here, workers were treated very badly. They were paid very little and forced to buy supplies from the landowners. They also had to work amongst the chemicals being sprayed on the plants. Under these conditions, one of Rigoberta's brothers died from malnutrition. Shortly after Rigoberta menchu's brother passed away, the other family members started to experience the cruel treatment of the government and the higher social classes in Guatemala.
When my 18 died, my mother and father decided it was time to speak out against our government and our cruel owner. We joined the Guatemalan Congress and were soon visited by very frightening soldiers. They tortured my family and almost kidnapped them. My brother who ran the Congress tried to talk to the men but was unsuccessful.
Hello, I am Pedro Chino, head of the Guatemalan Congress. We came to make peace, not harm.
I'm going to kill you.
Please don't shoot.
Don't shoot, don't shoot. I am Anita, sister of Petrotino. We want peace.
Okay.
Although Rigoberta's sister was able to stop the soldiers from killing her brother, relationships between the poor Mayans and the government officials was progressing negatively. In the early 1980s, there was a massive increase in the violence in Guatemala. Approximately 1,000 people per month were killed. During this time, Rigoberta's brother was kidnapped and brutally tortured.
Shortly after Petrotino died, my father was captured. They tore off the hair on his head on one side. His skin was cut off and they had broken so many of his bones he could not walk. Later, when my father found out that Petrotino was dead, he, along with many men from our village, were burnt alive to call attention to the plight of the indigenous people. Although his death still hurts me, I know that he died for us and did not fall into the hands of our government again. This helped me accept his death and reinforced my desire to fight for my people.
As if losing her father and 2 brothers wasn't hard enough, later on, Rigoberta's mother died in perhaps the most brutal way of all. Her head was shaved, her fingernails chopped off, she was raped and then killed. At this time, Rigoberta was involved in resistance activities. She shut down streets with barricades and then retreated before the government started to appear.
We made bomb threats to factories so that workers and citizens we knew could have days off because their work was awful. Myself and my colleagues boycotted anything we could. We destroyed cotton and coffee estates and tampered with machinery and factories so we could weaken their value and help our people.
As part of being in the resistance, Rigoberta was exiled and went to Mexico. She was reunited with some of her family members. When she went to the United States, she was able to meet with leaders who convinced her to go to Europe as an ambassador for indigenous people in the United Nations. She then wrote her first book, I, Rigoberta menchu. In 1992, Rigoberta menchu received the Nobel Peace Prize for her book, which drew attention to the struggles of the indigenous people in Latin America.
Rigoberta is the youngest person to receive this prize.
I am so pleased to accept this award on behalf of Guatemala's Indian peoples. Although I have lived my life in exile, I believe this prize will put a spotlight on human rights abuse directly associated with my people. I thank you all so much for your kindness.
Ever since Rigoberta received the Nobel Peace Prize, she has fought even more for peace and justice in Guatemala. Rigoberta has received recent attention from the news because people have been questioning whether the events from her first book were real or not. She has said that she has used the testimony of other victims to construct the story. Rigoberta and her foundation have since been pressing causes against soldiers for justice. Hello, old chap. Do you know who Rigoberta menchu is?
Oh, of course I do. I have her book.
Do you know who Rigoberta menchu is?
Oh, yes, I do.
Do you know who Rigoberta menchu is?
Oh, of course I do.
Do you know who Rigoberta menchu is?
I am Rigoberta Menchu.